Good afternoon all. Today we are going to discuss about the factors which are affecting the efficacy of the disinfection and sterilization, which can be both applicable to disinfection and sterilization. The activity of these germicides against the microorganisms mainly depend upon number of factors. And some of the factors are the intrinsic qualities of the organism. They are intrinsically resistant to certain agents, like that. Others of which are the chemical and external physical environment. So we must aware of these factors, and the awareness of these factors lead to better use of disinfection and sterilization processes. And this can be briefly reviewed. So first of all, first factor is the number and the location of the microorganisms. All the other conditions remaining constant, if the microbes are larger in number, the more time a germicide needs to destroy all of them. So it depends upon the action of this disinfectant or sterilant, which may depend upon the number or the quantity of the microbes. Spalding illustrated this relation when he employed identical test conditions and demonstrated that he took 30 minutes to kill 10 Bacillus atrophius, which is formerly known as Bacillus subtilis. Now it is called atrophius. So 10 Bacillus atrophius spores he took 30 minutes, but he took 3 hours to kill 100,000 Bacillus atrophius spores. This reinforces the need for the scrupulous cleaning of medical instruments before disinfection. So it is better to clean before the articles are subjected to disinfection or sterilization. The location of the microorganism must also be considered when factors affecting the efficacy of germicides are assessed. Medical instruments with multiple pieces must be disassembled, and also this equipment such as endoscopes, such as crevices, joints and channels are more difficult to disinfect than the flat surface equipments, because penetration of this disinfectant of all parts of the equipment is more difficult. Only the surfaces that directly contact the germicide will be disinfected better. So there must be no air pockets and the equipment must be completely immersed for the entire exposure period. Next factor is innate resistance of the microorganisms. The microorganisms vary greatly according to their resistance to chemical, germicides and sterilization process. Intrinsic resistant mechanisms in microorganisms to the disinfectant vary. For example, the spores are resistant to disinfectant because the spore coat as well as the cortex, they may act as a barrier because the spores are toughest resistant structures. So, this spore producing organism develop an intrinsic resistance. Then next coming is mycobacteria. They also have a waxy cell wall that prevent the disinfectant entry. And the certain gram-negative bacteria possess an outer membrane. They may also act as a barrier to the uptake of disinfectants. So these are the organisms, they may possess innate resistance to microorganisms. Except for prions, bacterial spores possess highest innate resistance to chemical germicides, followed by the coccidia, that means example Cryptosporidium, Mycobacterium, non-lipid or small viruses, fungi, vegetative bacteria and lipid or medium-sized viruses. So except for these prions, this may possess higher resistance to chemical. These are the organisms, they may show higher innate resistance to chemical germicides. Once again, coccidia, mycobacteria, non-lipid or small viruses, example poliovirus and Coxsackie virus, fungi, example Aspergillus candida, vegetative bacteria such as Staphylococcus and Pseudomonas, and also lipid-containing medium-sized virus, example herpes and HIV. The germicidal resistance exhibited by the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, it is similar in some exceptions only. Example, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, it shows a greater resistance to some disinfectants, not to everyone. Next is about the concentration and potency of the disinfectants. With other variables and constant, with one exception, the more concentrated the disinfectant, the greater is its efficacy, and shorter the time it is necessary to achieve the microbial kill if the concentration of the disinfectant is more. Generally not recognized, however, is that all the disinfectants are not similarly affected by the concentration adjustments. So this is not applicable to every disinfectants, okay? For example, quaternary ammonium compounds and phenol have a concentration exponent of 1 and 6 respectively. Thus, having the concentration of quaternary ammonium compounds require doubling its disinfection time, but halving the concentration of phenol solution requires a 64-fold. That means 2 raised to 6 increase in its disinfecting time. Considering the length of the disinfection time, which depends on the potency of the germicide, also is important. This was illustrated by Spalding, who demonstrated using the Musin loop test that 70% isopropyl alcohol destroyed 10 raised to 4 Mycobacterium tuberculosis within 5 minutes, whereas the simultaneous test with 3% phenol requires 2 to 3 hours to achieve the same level of microbial disinfection. Next is the physical and chemical factors affecting the efficacy. Several physical and chemical factors also influence the disinfectant procedure. Example, temperature, pH, relative humidity, and water hardness. For example, the activity of most disinfectants increases as the temperature increases, but there is some exceptions exist. Furthermore, too great an increase in the temperature, it may cause the disinfectant to degrade and weakens its germicidal activity, thus might produce a potential health hazard. An increase in the pH improves the antimicrobial activity of some disinfectants, for example, glutaraldehyde, quaternary ammonium compounds, but it decreases the antimicrobial activity of others, example, phenol, hypochlorites, and iodine. The pH influences the antimicrobial activity. How? By altering the disinfectant molecule or the cell surface. Next is another is relative humidity. This is single most important factor which is influencing the activity of gaseous disinfectants or sterilants such as ethylene oxide, chlorine dioxide, and formaldehyde. Next is water hardness. High concentration of divalent cations reduces the rate of the kill of certain disinfectants because divalent cations in the hard water interact with the disinfectant to form insoluble precipitates. Next is about organic and inorganic matter. The organic matter in the form of serum, blood, pus, fecal or lubricant material, this can interfere with the antimicrobial activity of disinfectants in at least 2 ways. Most commonly, interference occurs by the chemical reaction between the germicide and the organic matter, resulting in a complex that is less germicidal or non-germicidal, leaving less of the active germicide available for attacking microorganisms. Chlorine and iodine disinfectants, these are prone to such interactions. Alternatively, organic materials can protect the microorganisms from attack by acting as a physical barrier. The effect of inorganic contaminants on the sterilization was studied during 1950s and 1960s. This and other studies shows protection by inorganic contaminants of the microorganisms to all sterilization process, it may result due to the occlusion in the salt crystals. This further emphasizes the importance of what? Meticulous cleaning of medical device before any sterilization or disinfection procedure, because both organic and inorganic soils are easily removed by washing. So we should clean prior to disinfection. Next important factor is duration of exposure. The items must be exposed to germicide for the appropriate minimum contact time. Multiple investigators have demonstrated that the effectiveness of low-level disinfectants against vegetative bacteria such as Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella, then MRS aviari, yeast, mycobacteria and viruses at exposure times of 30 to 60 seconds. By law, all applicable label instructions for EPA registered products must be followed. So, we must expose to the appropriate minimal contact time. Maximum efficiency in minimum contact time. If the user select exposure conditions that differ from those of this EPA registered product level, user assumes liability for any injuries resulting from off-label. Next is all lumens and channels of endoscopic instruments must contact the disinfectant. Air pockets which interfere the disinfection process and items that float down the disinfectant will not be disinfected properly. And this disinfectant should be introduced reliably to the internal channel of the device, because internal channel should be cleaned. Exact timing of this disinfecting medical items, it is elusive because of the effect of aforementioned factors. So, certain contact time have proved reliable, but in general, longer contact times are more effective than shorter contact time. So, from this, longer contact time is more effective than shorter contact times. Next, about biofilms. This is another important factor. The microorganisms can be protected from disinfectants by the production of a thick mass of cells. This thick mass of cells around the microorganism, which is also consists of extracellular materials or biofilms. Biofilms are nothing but they are microbial communities which are tightly attached to the surface of the microorganism, and these biofilms cannot be easily removed. Once these masses form microbes within them, that microbe now become resistant to disinfectants by multiple mechanisms, including physical characteristics of older biofilms, genotypic variations of the bacteria, microbial production of neutralizing enzymes, and physiologic gradients with the biofilms. So the bacteria within the biofilms are up to 1,000 times more resistant to antimicrobials than the same bacteria within the suspension. So because of the presence of this biofilm, the bacteria become more resistant to this disinfectants. Although new decontamination methods are being investigated for removing these biofilms, chlorine and monochloramines are effectively inactivate biofilm bacteria. So biofilm is one of the important reasons for developing resistance in bacteria. And these are the different types of things. Investigators have hypothesized that glycocalyx-like cellular masses on the interior wall of polyvinyl chloride pipe would protect embedded organisms. This you can refer through this. I am not going through in detail. Mainly the important biofilm. Okay. The presence of the serious implications in immunocompromised patients who have indwelling medical device, they should be given extra care, because this may gets contaminated with biofilms. So we should be very cautious in the patients who are immunocompromised. For such patients, this indwelling device should be properly disinfected. So next is about different types of disinfectants which we are using, and we can study the different mode of action also. So in the next session, we can discuss each and every one of them, such as alcohol, formaldehyde,